Here's why you should never push a bad launch. Launches is when people are at the most risk of breaking equipment and getting hurt. It is super important that when you are a new paramotor pilot, you never force a bad launch. You never force yourself to do it, and you always set yourself up for success. One of the things that I do every single time that I fly in a new LZ, a new wing, or a new motor is I set this imaginary line in my head called a stop point. This is a point in the field in which if I reach that spot and things are not feeling right, the motor is not running right, the wing is not producing the lift it normally does, or anything that's slightly off, I stop. This stop point has saved me so many times, because far too commonly new pilots get in this mindset where it's like, I'm just 100% going to make this happen. Focus on running, getting in the air. All of a sudden they don't realize their wing has a stress tangle, or their motor is only running at half power, or there's a bush in front of them, or something is just off, right? And it ends up leading to them breaking equipment. You never want to force a bad launch. If things are just slightly off, if it just doesn't feel right, maybe you're downwind, maybe there's a stress tangle or a weed in your wing, just don't do it. One of the things that I've learned in the decade of flying that I have is that every little thing that happens to you that kills your confidence leads to you flying less. And what I mean by that is, like, if you go out on a Saturday morning and you just force this bad launch that leads to you breaking a prop, the next time you go out, you're going to be far more nervous. And every little time that happens, it builds up on itself. And when you're new, it's extremely important that you are not pushing these bad launches, that you are not killing your confidence, that you're not doing that, because that leads to you not flying. So what I want to tell you, and the tip of advice that I have for you, is that when you're a new pilot, right, when you're under 50 hours, 25 hours, just on that newer scale, that newer side, set yourself up for success. Make sure that wing is laid out nicely. Make sure there's no stress tangles. Make sure there's no weeds on it. Make sure that there's nothing in front of you for you to run into. Make sure you have that stop point picked out. And if things don't feel right, just stop. Never force it. Never just try and make it happen when maybe it's just not made to be. Maybe there's just something off. Maybe there's something in your way. Never just try and barely clear those trees. Never try and barely clear those bushes. Never think to yourself, I should be fine. If any of those situations are happening, you should really stop, restart, and recalibrate on what you're going to do next, because this sport is absolutely worth it. But you don't want to find yourself running into a big old berm of snow. You don't want to find yourself flying into a tree. You don't want to find yourself running over a bunch of bushes. Have a stop point. Have a spot in your mind that if you reach and you are not airborne or things don't feel right, stop. That has saved me so many times, having that stop point where it's like, if I reach that spot and things don't feel right, I'm going to stop. Sometimes it's ego, right? Sometimes people go out and it's an ego trip if they don't nail the launch. They feel bad. They feel embarrassed. They feel like they suck. The reality is, it's far less embarrassing to just stop and drop the wing than it is to go hammering into a bush or a tree, blowing your motor up, breaking a prop, and costing you thousands of dollars. Trust me, it is far more embarrassing to find yourself crashing into a berm of snow, face planting, tumbling, and going crashing down on the other side than it is to just stop and lay the wing down on the ground. Have this stop point, never force a bad launch, and live to fly another day. My name is Trevor Steele. We run a training class here in Salt Lake City, Utah called Backcountry PPG. If you are interested in learning more, check out our website in the link down below, and we will see you in the next video.